Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you doing? This is the Brandon Cruz Daily Fantasy Podcast, and this is the 2018 running back rankings. Now, when I was uploading these videos, something went wrong with the rendering for my wide receiver, quarterback, and the running back video. Those are the only three that I had recorded. I hadn't done the quarterback one yet, or the tight end one yet. But so this is my second time recording this. I'm sorry that it's coming out late, but I couldn't help that, so I'm redoing this one, and I'm actually going to go through it quicker because the last one was like 50 minutes, and it was just me like talking about stats that for like dumb fucking people like Chris Thompson or Tevin Coleman from Atlanta or Derrick Henry, like focusing way too much on those guys. So I'm just going to try and run through all these and get a really short video going on here. So I apologize for that, guys. But anyway, 2018, I'm starting with Todd Gurley, and this is all based off of last year, obviously, and how I feel they're going to do. And if you need me and other people to tell you to pick Todd Gurley in your season-long fantasy lineup or whatever, you need a lot more help than just this. But Todd Gurley, over 1,300 rushing yards last year, 19 touchdowns, over 700 receiving yards. I mean, that is exactly what you want in your fantasy quarterback. And him and Le'Veon Bell averaged the most points per week last year. And then I got Le'Veon Bell on this list, but I personally don't like Le'Veon Bell for the first 4 weeks because he's still, in my opinion, I think he's still going to be pissed off about the contract negotiations and all that stuff, and I don't think he has any incentive to actually give a shit the first 4 weeks. And kind of like last year where he really didn't do much and Antonio Brown just kind of took over. I think that's what's going to happen. So if you want him for a season-long fantasy, go right ahead for DraftKings. I mean, I'm still going to have entries with him depending on how the preseason goes and everything for week one, but I'm certainly not going to be overboard on him or anything. The guy that I'm really looking at is David Johnson from Arizona. A lot of people are like, well, he's coming back from an injury. I don't think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to perform the same way. Like, dude, are you stupid? He's coming back from a wrist injury. He didn't tear his ACL. He didn't get 15 concussions. He didn't have his appendix removed or a liver blow up or anything of that nature. Like, for crying out loud, he's coming back from a wrist injury. Literally all he did last year was he still worked out and ran and made sure his cardio was still up there, and he was still able to work out with his wrist injury. And I mean, I think David Johnson is right behind Todd Gurley, honestly. Whether it be Sam Bradford or Josh Rosen in the backfield or in the quarterback position for Arizona, I think there's only really two targets because that receiving core is just absolutely garbage. You got Larry Fitzgerald, who is going to be being thrown at the 5 yards off of line of scrimmage, 8 yards off the line of scrimmage for first downs or for touchdowns or for really long throws. And then if Larry's taken, the quarterback's going to either throw it or give it to David Johnson. So I love me some David this year. Then you got Barkley for New York. I think New York is a fucking train wreck, and Eli is losing his stuff. And with Odell Beckham Jr. being Odell Beckham Jr., Eli is either going to be throwing to fucking Odell Beckham Jr. Sorry about that. He's either going to be throwing to OBJ or he's going to be giving it to Barkley. Is Sterling Shepard even still with New York? I got to check that. He might be throwing to him or Evan Ingram, but Evan Ingram was on and off last year, so it's either going to be Odell Beckham Jr. or Barkley. And then you got Ezekiel Elliott, pretty much in the same situation with the Dallas Cowboys, where there is no receiving core whatsoever. Dak Prescott is just going to be giving it to Elliott, whether it's him running or whether it's him catching it and taking off with it. I think those are easily the top guys that I'm looking at. So we got Gurley, Johnson, Barkley, Bell, and Ezekiel Elliott. Those are by far my top 5 guys that I'm looking into this year. And then you got some other guys that I'm looking at is Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, and Alvin Kamara. Kamara for the Saints, he doesn't have to worry about Mark because he's going to be suspended and all that stuff. So it's just going to be the Kamara show in the running back or in the backfield there. And other than Drew Brees checking everything that moves on his team, anytime it's a running play, I think Kamara's going to be out there. I think he's going to get at least 70% of the touches or the downs whenever it's a run. So I'm a huge fan of Kamara. I like Melvin Gordon too for the Chargers. I've already said it in my last video that I like the Chargers this year. I love what they're setting up with Phillip Rivers and Allen and all those guys. I don't think Gordon is going to be as dominant as Barkley or Elliott or Johnson, but I think he's still a really good pick. And then Hunt, I think Hunt is going to level out. I don't think he's going to have those big, huge games that they were having last year. Because I think the first game he played, he scored like fucking 49 points on DraftKings, and he did it like twice. And then other games, he just like shit the bed. So Kareem Hunt I think he's going to be stabilized, but he's not going to be anywhere near that dominant. And then Leonard Fournette, I think he's going to take a huge step back. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take a huge step back in general, and so they're not going to be anywhere near as dominant. I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. But Leonard Fournette, just not going to be there. Freeman for Atlanta, I like him. And I like Coleman too, but I like him more whenever one of them is injured. Freeman is still the number one running back in that situation. So I think Freeman, Gordon, and McKinnon from Minnesota are pretty much in the same placing on here. Transitioning to McKinnon, I think the Vikings are going to take a step back. They're not going to be anywhere near as dominant, and their running game really wasn't that good last year because they would just keep chucking it down the field. But whenever it did come down to that, McKinnon was a really good choice. And then going down, I have Christian McCaffrey, LaShawn McCoy, and Alex Collins, and Marshawn Lynch, and Jordan Hayward. There, starting with the Bills and McCoy. The Bills are non-existent, so McCoy is really the only good play there. I think he'll probably have 700, 800 yards. I cannot wait for the damn snow game. Again, I love that snow game that they had last year. I just ran both running backs and got a shitload of points there. Alex Collins for Baltimore. Alex Collins is good. He's pretty consistent. I'm sure Seattle is pissed off that they lost him, or that they traded him. Actually, I think Collins and McCaffrey are pretty much the same person in the same team. Pretty much, they're gonna go hand in hand. I think they'll both have around 800 yards. Then moving back down my list, we have Marshawn Lynch and Jordan Hayward. I think Marshawn Lynch. He was really up and down last year. I think he's going to level out a bit more, and Oakland Raiders are a dumpster fire as well. I don't care what Gruden does to that. I think they're going to implement Marshawn Lynch a lot more, and I think he's going to at least have 20 carries, 24, 26 a game. I'm hoping in the year around. I think he's going to have a lot less yards, but I think he's going to have more touchdowns than most people. I think he's probably going to have around 550 to 650 rushing yards, but I expect Marshawn to have at least. I think he'll have at least 9 touchdowns, just because Oakland has nothing going on, and they're just going to be running the ball like crazy. Same with the Bears and Jordan Howard. I think that's pretty much the same, and then you got Lamar Miller at Texas, and I think he's going to lose a lot of his points that he got last year because Deshaun Watson was gone, so they relied more on Miller a lot, even though he'd only get like 2 yards a run. I'm not a huge fan of Miller this year. And then same with Burkhead, even though the Patriots used him more than any other running back in the red zone last year. He got more touchdowns than any other running back from the New England Patriots. I'm not a huge fan of Burkhead unless he's like dirt cheap again. Same with Dion Lewis, and like that whole running back thing from New England is just messed up. Like that can go hand in hand. You have to pay attention to who they're starting and what they're going for. Then you got JJ Ajayi and the Philadelphia Eagles, which that is like no running game whatsoever. So I'm not too big into JJ Ajayi. I'm really big into Derrick Henry taking over from taking over Tennessee from DeMarco Murray because he retired. I really like that. Henry was really good last year whenever they'd play him, and the only reason he wasn't a starter is because they had DeMarco Murray there, and DeMarco Murray was amazing. So I really like Henry. Going down, it's either like number 2 running backs or like you got like C.J. Anderson and or no, not C.J. Anderson. He's no longer in Denver. Fuck, who is the guy in Denver? I just went blank. I don't have it written down here. Oh my lord, I just went blank. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god. Just went blank on who's the running back for Denver. Wow, this is a terrible thing. But I was gonna say Denver and San Francisco pretty much the same problem with Carlos Hyde being absolute garbage. Um, Duke Johnson's going to be all right. James White in New England, yeah. Aaron Jones from El Paso, from UTEP, man, it'd be great if he fucking broke his leg. Let's just have a career-ending injury on Aaron Jones. I'm so fucking tired of listening to people fucking talk about him. I swear to God. I'm from El Paso, so that's like all they ran about. It's like, Aaron Jones did this, Aaron Jones did that. I'd like, dude, oh my lord. Like, the fans here, Jesus Christ, Aaron. Aaron, I got nothing against you, but man, let's have a broken tibia or something this year, so people just shut the fuck up about you here in El Paso. Thank God I'm leaving to Lubbock. Austin Eckler, Chris Ivey. For Jacksonville, people of that nature, like Frank Gore. I mean, Frank Gore is the number 1 running back but like, who the fuck is gonna run Frank Gore? He doesn't do a damn thing. Powell for the Jets, he's back. He actually, Powell for the Jets was really good last year until he got hurt. Wow, this is just like going through like, oh, I like him, he's good, they're good, they're good. Like, this has been a horrible fucking podcast. But I do apologize. I had to record it, so I lost. I had already removed all the stats around these guys. Ty Montgomery for Green Bay. Between him and Aaron Jones, whoever gets the starting position there, that's who I'm going to go with. Alfred Blue. I believe Blue is the backup behind Ezekiel Elliott. I could be wrong there. Terrence West, Jeremy Hill. Pretty much all these other guys are like second string. Like the guys that I talked about in the beginning, Gurley, Bell, Johnson. No, Leonard Fournette is bad, but you got Freeman, Barkley, Kamara, Elliott. Collins, McCoy, McCaffrey, Lynch, and Melvin Gordon. Those are pretty much the only guys that I really like, and that's like 11, 12, 13 guys that I'm a real fan of entering this season. Yeah, those are pretty much the only guys I'm looking for. I'm gonna try and get my stats back for the wide receivers. Like I said, I'm recording this really fast to upload it, and that's my really short opinion on these running backs. I apologize that it just didn't work out. And the next video will be way better. But thanks for listening, guys.